Hey, okay, we're gonna read it. Let's put on some glasses. Ooh, what's he gonna do? He's put on his glasses. Ooh. Alright. Before the end of my heart. Sorry. I'm starting at page 68 in the books that we have. This is right after where we left off last time, just in case you guys didn't know. Before the end, my heart was broken down. I slumped on the trampled sand and cried aloud, caring no more for life or the light of day, and rolled there weeping till my tears were spent. Then the unerring ancient said at last, "No more, no more! How long must you persist? Nothing is gained by grieving so. How soon can you return to Argos? You may take him alive there still, or else meanwhile Orestes will have dispatched him. You'll attend the feast." At this my heart revived, and I recovered the self-command to question him once more. "Of two companions now I know. The third, tell me his name. The one marooned at sea, living you say, or dead. Even in pain, I wish to hear." And this is all he answered. "Laertes' son, whose home is Ithaca. I saw him weeping on an island. The nymph Calypso has him in her hall. No means of faring home are left him now. No ships with oars, and no ship's company to pull him on the broad back of the sea. As to your own destiny, Prince Menelaus, you shall not die in the blue-grass land of Argos. Rather, the gods intend you for Elysion, with the golden Rhadamanthus at the world's end, where all existence is a dream of ease. Snowfall is never known there, neither long frost of winter, nor torrential rain, but only mild and lulling airs from ocean, bearing refreshment for the souls of men, the west wind always blowing. For the gods hold you as Helen's lord, a son of Zeus. So now, we look up Rhadamanthus, just so we can get an idea. Rhadamanthus was the son of Zeus and Europa. Alright. So basically, what's going on here is he said, Menelaus, he's like, ooh, 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 he's crying, but then the god's like, "Oh, shut up, crybaby. There's no use in crying. You'll be at the feast. You'll be with this one guy, it's gonna be a good old time. You're not gonna die here. Maybe you're gonna meet him up, You're gonna have a good time. The gods like you quite a bit, You're not a bad guy." At this, he dove under a swell and left me, and I went back to the ship with my companions, feeling my heart's blood in me running high. But in the long hull's shadow, near the sea, we supped again as sacred night came on and slept at last beside the lapping water. When dawn spread out her fingertips of rose, in the first light we launched on the courtly breakers, setting up masts and yards in the well-found ships. When all on board, and braced on planks athwart, oarsmen, and line-dipped oars in the grey sea. Soon I drew in to the great stream, fed by heaven, and, laying by, slew bulls in the proper number, until the immortal gods were thus appeased. Then heaped a death mound on that shore against all quenching time for Agamemnon's honor, and put to sea once more. The gods sent down a stern wind for a racing passage homeward. So ends the story. Now you must stay with me and be my guest 11 or 12 days more. I'll send you on your way with gifts, and fine ones, 3 chariot horses, and a polished car, hammered cup too, so that all your days, tipping the red wine for the deathless gods, you will remember me. Telemachus dies. Thanks, Sky Phoenix. I appreciate the spoiler. Basically, what's going on here is he's like, okay, and then he did some stuff, and then he sailed off, and so he's on the ship with his companions. They're sailing out of there. They're going at supersonic speeds, and then when they woke up, when they woke up, they went sailing, and then the gods, they were like, and then they then heaped a death mound on that shore against all quenching time for Agamemnon's honor. And so basically they just made a death mound for Agamemnon. So they held like sort of a makeshift funeral, I'm guessing. And they were able to sail back. Really sad. Sad times. Telemachus answered, Lord, son of Atreus, no, you must not be keeping me. Not that a year with you would be too long. I never could be homesick here. I find your tales and all you say so marvelous, but time hangs heavy on my shipmates' hands, at holy Pylos, if you may make me stay. As for your gift now, let it be some keepsake. Horses I cannot take to Ithaca. Let me bestow them back on you, to serve your glory here, my lord. You rule wide country, rolling and rich with clover, galingale, and all the grains, red wheat and hoary barley. At home we have no level runs or meadows, but highland, goatland, prettier than plains though. Grasses and pasture land are hard to come by upon the islands tilted in the sea, and Ithaca is the island of them all. So he's like, I can't stay for 12 days. I gotta get back. And so he goes back. And he's like, okay, just give me some gift. Maybe do something that I wouldn't have back home in Ithaca, which would be your crops or your foods that we can't grow in Ithaca. And this deep-lunged man of battle smiled. Then he said kindly, patting the boy's hand, You come of good stock, lad. That was well spoken. I'll change the gift, then, as indeed I can. Let me see what is the costliest and most beautiful of all precious thing my house contains. A wine bowl, mixing bowl, all wrought of silver, but rimmed with hammered gold. Let this be yours. It is Hephaestus working, given me by Phaidamos, captain and king of Sidon. He received me during my travels. Let it be yours, I say. This was their discourse on that morning. Meanwhile, guests were arriving at the great lord's house, bringing their sheep and wine. These of men, with loaves their comely kerchiefed women sent, to make a feast in hall. So basically, he's like, okay, I'm going to give you some fancy dishes. Ooh, fun times. And that's your gift now. It was made by a god, Hephaestus. I don't know how to pronounce it. Hephaestus. He's the god who made, like, tools and stuff. And some people start coming in, and so it interrupts their conversation. At that same hour, before the distant manor of Odysseus, the suitors were competing at the discus throw and javelin. On a measured field they use, arrogant lords at play. The two best men, Antinous and Eurymachus, presided. Now Phronius' son, Noemen, came to see them with a question for Antinous. He said, Do any of us know, or not, Antinous, what day Telemachus will be home from Pylos? He took my ship, but now I need it back to make a cruise to Elis, where the plains are. I have a dozen mares at pasture there, with mule cots yet unweaned. My notion is to bring one home and break him in for labor. And his first words made them stare, for they knew well Telemachus could not have gone to Pylos, but inland with his flocks, or to the swineherd. Your Eupithes' son, Antinous, quickly answered. So basically, he's like, he took my ship, kind of need back. So, I mean, like, Telemachus, give me, when's he gonna be back? I want Telemachus to give me my ship back. Well, Antinous, the smart suitor, he's the smart one, but, he's a suitor, so, tell the story straight. He sailed. Who joined him? A crew he picked up here in Ithaca, or his own slaves? He might have done it that way. And will you make it clear whether he took the ship against your will? Did he ask for it? Did you lend it to him? So clearly, like, these people did not know that this person that Telemachus left and took their ship. They thought that Telemachus was, like, somewhere around town, somewhere near. But no, he sailed away, and they didn't know it. Now the son of Phronius, in reply, lent it to him, and freely. Who would not, when a prince of that house asked for it in trouble? Hard to refuse the favor, it seems to me. As for his crew, the best men on the island, after ourselves, went with him. Mentor, I noted going aboard, or a god who looked like Mentor. The strange thing is, I saw Lord Mentor here in the first light yesterday, although he sailed 5 days ago for Pylos. And so he's like, okay, I lent it to him. He sailed with a bunch of guys, best guys in the land, except for us. You guys are great. But, they went with Mentor, but, Mentor was here, not that long ago. So I think it might have been a god in disguise. Might have been just some god pulling our legs. Turning away, Neumann took the path to his father's house, leaving the two men there, baffled and hostile. They caught the rest in from the playing field and made them all sit down, so far that Antinous could speak out from the storm cloud of his heart, swollen with anger, and his eyes blazed. A bad business. Telemachus had the gall to make that crossing, though he said he could not. So the young cub rounds up a first-rate crew, in spite of all our crowd, and puts to sea. What devilment will he be up to next time? Just Zeus blast the life out of him before he's grown. Just give me a fast ship and 20 men. I'll intercept him, board him in the strait between the crags of Sami and this island. He'll find this sea adventure after his father's swamping work in the end. Penelope does. Thank you, Sky Phoenix. Appreciate it. Anyway, they're mad. They're mad that he went out without their permission. They were mad that he went out. They expected him to just be, somewhere around here. But no, he went out without their permission. Without their permission. Can you believe that? And so he has a plan to intercept him when he's coming back to Ithaca. He's gonna just demolish that guy. He's gonna punch him into the stratosphere. They all cried, "Aye!" and after him, and trailed back to the manor. Now, not much time went by before Penelope learned what was afoot among the suitors. Medon, the crier, told her he had been outside the wall and heard them in the court conspiring. Into the house and up the stairs, he ran to her with his news upon his tongue. But at the door, Penelope met him, crying, "Why have they sent you up here now? To tell the maids of King Odysseus, leave your spinning. Time to go down and slave to feed those men. I wish this were the last time they came feasting, courting me or consorting here. The last. Each day you crowd this house like wolves to eat away my brave son's patrimony. When you were boys, did your own fathers tell you nothing of what Odysseus was for them? In word and act impeccable, disinterested toward all the realm. Though it is king's justice to hold one man abhorred and love another, no man alive could say Odysseus wronged him. But your own hearts, how different, and your deeds, how soon are benefactions all forgotten." And so, basically, this one guy, he was gonna tell Penelope about, their plan to kill her son, but then she's just like, "Oh, what do you have to tell me this time? Screw the suitors, man. I don't like them. What is up with all you guys? Don't you have any respect? I'm tired of this, man. Tired of this." Now, Madame, the alert and cool man, answered, "I wish that were the worst of it, my lady. But they intend something more terrible. May Zeus forfend and spare us. They plan to drive the keen bronze through Telemachus when he comes home. He sailed away, to hallowed Pylos and old Lake Damon for news about his father." And so now he tells her straight. She's like, "They're gonna stab him. They're gonna stab him, dude." And she's like, oh, her knees failed and her heart failed as she listened to the words. And all her power of speech went out of her. Tears came, but the rich voice could not come. Only after a long while she made answer. "Why has my child left me? He had no need of those long ships on which men shake out sail to tug like horses, breasting miles of sea. Where did he go? Must he too be forgotten?" So now she's like, oh, why is Telemachus? Why did you just say, oh, are you gonna die? Are you forgotten? And like she's just like broken at this point, guys. Then Meadow, the perceptive man, replied, a god moved him. Who knows? Or his own heart sent him to learn at Pylos if his father roams the wide world still, or what befell him. He left her then and went down through the house, and now the pain around her heart benumbed her. Chairs were a step away, but far beyond her. She sank down on the doorsill of the chamber, wailing, and all her women, young and old, made a low murmur of lament around her, until at last she broke out through her tears. Dearest companions, what has Zeus given me? That's a bad voice, but I'm gonna stick with it. Pain, a more pain than any living woman. My lord, my land hot, gone long ago. The bravest man and the best of the Danaans. Famous through Hellas, the Argive mountains. And now the squalls have blown my son, my dear one, an unknown boy southward. No one told me. Oh, brute creatures! Not one soul would dare to wake me from my sleep. You knew the hour he took the black ship out to sea. If I had seen that sailing in his eyes, he should have stayed with me, for all his longing stayed, or left me dead in the great hall. Those who are now, and call me Odysseus, enslaved my father gave me before I came, my archer keeper. Let him make haste and put these things before Laertes. May plan some kind of action. Let him come to cry shame on these ruffians who would murder Odysseus' son and heir. The end is lying. So basically, she's sad. She's like, oh my god, now Telemachus he's gonna get caught. Well, who are these people? Who are these people who would kill Odysseus and his son? Kill off the line. Give me my slave. Give me my slave, you humble maids. The dear old nurse, Euryclea, answered her. Sweet mistress, I have my throat cut without mercy, or what you will. It's true. I won't conceal it. I knew the whole thing. I gave him his provisions. Grain and sweet wine I gave, and a great oath to tell you nothing till 12 days went by, or till you heard of it yourself, or missed him. He hoped you would not tear your skin lamenting. Come bathe and dress your loveliness afresh, and go to the upper rooms with all your maids to ask help from Athena, Zeus's daughter. She it will be who saves this boy from death. Spare the old man this further suffering. The blissful gods cannot so hate his line. Heirs of Archesios, one will yet again be lord of the hall house and the far fields. And so this maid, she's like, don't worry about it. I know about it. He told me. Come bathe. Come on. Calm down. Calm down. I'll help you out. She's like that one friend in those romantic comedies who just likes drinking wine. That's their one character trick, is that they like drinking wine, and that's what this lady is. She hushed her weeping in this way and soothed her. The lady Penelope arose and bathed, dressing her body in her freshest linen, filled a basket with barley, and led her maids to the upper rooms, where she besought Athena, tireless child of Zeus, gracious hear me. If Odysseus burned at her altar fire with eye bones of beef or mutton and sacrifice, remember for my sake, save my son, shield him, and make the killers go away. So she's like, she was trying to get calmed down, but then she's like, I want my son to be saved. So she prayed to Zeus. Oh, sorry, she prayed to Athena, not Zeus. I don't know why she prayed to Athena, but she prayed to Athena. She ended with a cry, and the goddess heard her. Now voices rose from the shadowy hall below, where the suitors were assuring one another, our so long-courted queen is even now of a mind to marry one of us, and knows nothing of what is destined for her son. Oh, man. Stupid suitors. They think they got over on her, but no, she knows. Of what was destined, they knew, in fact. Of what was destined, they in fact knew nothing, but Antinous addressed them in a whisper. No boasting, are you mad? No loud talk. Someone might hear it and alarm the house. Come along now, be quiet, this way, come. will carry out the plan our hearts are set on. Picking out 20 of the strongest seamen, he led them to a ship at the sea's edge, and down they dragged her into deeper... Oh, sorry. Her is the ship, by the way. Well, yeah, okay. Thank you, Sky Phoenix. She prayed to Athena because Athena has connections with Telemachus, but I don't exactly know why Penelope would know that, Sky Phoenix, but, like, she prayed to Athena. That's the important part. I'm summarizing, I'm not explaining. um, dragged her into deeper water, stepping a mast in her, with furled sails, and oars a-trail from thongs looped over thole pins, ready all, then tried the white sail, hoisting, while men-arms carried their gear aboard. They moored the ship some way offshore, and left her to take their evening meal there, waiting for night to come. Okay, fair enough, Sky Phoenix. I trust you on that one, but again, it's summary and not explanation. So what this means is that they just took their ship out and they parked it, and then they had their evening meal where they parked it. Penelope at that hour in her high chamber lay silent, tasting neither food nor drink, and thought of nothing but her princely son. Could he escape, or would they find and kill him? Her mind turning at bay, like a cornered lion in whom fear comes as hunters close the ring. But in her sick thought, sweet sleep overtook her, and she dozed off, her body slack and still. And so she's like, oh, I'm so sad, but then she fell asleep. And, you can't be sad when you're asleep. Now it occurred to the gray-eyed goddess Athena to make a figure of dream in a woman's form. If the great Icarios' other daughter, whom Eumelos of Furii took as bride. The goddess sent this dream to Odysseus' house, to quiet Penelope and end her grieving. So passing by the strap slit through the door, the image came a-gliding down the room to stand at her bedside and murmur to her. And so Athena, she transformed, and now she's going to comfort Penelope. I hope that's what it is. Oh no, she sent a dream down to Penelope. Sleep is now, sorrowing Penelope. So she's putting this into her mind. She didn't actually go there. Sleepest thou, sorrowing Penelope? The god whose life is ease no longer suffer thee to pine and weep. Then he returns unharmed, thy little one. No way hath he offended. Then pensive Penelope made this reply, slumbering sweetly in the gates of dream. Sister, hast thou come hither? Why are they speaking in Old English now? Aforetime never wouldst come, so far away thy dwelling. And am I bid be done with all my grieving? But see what anguish hath my heart and soul. My lord, my lion heart, gone long ago, the bravest man and best of the Danaans, famous through Hellas and the Argive midlands. And now my son, my dear one, gone seafaring, a child, untrained in hardship or in counsel. Aye, 'tis for him I weep, more than his father. Aye, how I tremble for him, lest some blow befall him at men's hands, or on the sea. Cruel are they, and many who plot against him, to take his life before he can return. And so Athena's like, okay, he's gonna make it back. Don't worry about it, I got it. And then Penelope is like, why are you visiting me? What's gonna happen to my son? I weep. I hope nothing happens to him. But then he says... but then it continues. Now the dim phantom spoke to her once more. Lift up thy heart, and fear not overmuch. For by his sides one goes whom all men else invoke as their defender, one so powerful, Pallas Athena. In thy tears she pitied thee, and now hath sent me that I so assure thee. So she's like, I'm gonna defend him. I'm gonna make sure he's all right. Then said Penelope the wise, if thou art numinous, and hast ears for divine speech, oh, tell me, what of Odysseus, man of woe? Is he alive still somewhere? Seeth he daylight still, or gone in death to the sunless underworld? Them phantoms said only this in answer: "Of him I may not tell thee in this discourse, alive or dead, and empty words are evil." And so she's like, "Oh, what about Odysseus? Is he alive?" And she's like, "I can't tell ya. You're gonna have to find out in the next book." The waving form withdrew along the door bolt into a draught of wind, and out of sleep Penelope awoke in better heart for that clear dream in the twilight of the night. Meanwhile, the suitors had got underway, planning the death plunge for Telemachus. Between the isles of Ithaca and Sami, the sea is broken by an islet. Asteris, with access to both channels from a cove, and ambush here that night the Achaeans lay. So Penelope wakes up, and the suitors are planning their attack against Telemachus. Telemachus is either going to die, or something else is going to happen, but, Athena's going to protect him. So basically what happened in the second half is Menelaus finished up with Telemachus, and then the suitors, they find out that Telemachus was gone that entire time, and so they plan to kill him. And then, of course, Penelope finds out from one of her, maids, or servants, I guess, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sad, oh." And then she prays to Athena, and Athena responds by saying, "Oh, no, I'm going to protect him." And then that's the end of the book. That's the end of that one. That was so little happened in so much time. This is annoying. I am very annoyed by this book.